Every day we go about our routines without thinking about how much they cost the planet. From the moment you wake up to the second your head hits the pillow at night, you're leaving behind a trail of waste, energy use, and carbon emissions. In fact, the average person unknowingly contributes over 4 tons of CO2 to the atmosphere each year, just by living their regular life. That's as much as driving a car 10,000 miles. Here's something even more shocking. Americans throw away 80 pounds of clothes each year, and most of that ends up in landfills. Meanwhile, nearly 1/3 of all food produced globally goes to waste, enough to feed 3 billion people. But don't panic. Small changes in your daily routine can make a huge difference. In this video, we'll dive into the hidden environmental costs of your morning habits, food choices, commuting, tech use, beauty routines, and even how you sleep. Get ready to uncover the small changes that can help you live a more sustainable life and start reducing your carbon footprint today. Let's take a look at how your everyday choices are shaping the world around you. Chapter 1. Morning Habits. The Hidden Footprint. Before you even step outside, we all love our morning routine. But have you ever stopped to think about how much energy you're burning before you even step outside? From the moment you hit snooze, you're already consuming resources. Did you know that the average American household spends $2,000 per year on energy for heating water? Hot showers, one of our daily rituals, are a major culprit. Consider swapping out your regular shower head for a low-flow model, saving up to 2,900 gallons of water a year. Now think about your coffee. That cup of morning energy often requires a disposable pod that takes hundreds of years to break down. Instead, go for reusable coffee filters and avoid the waste. And let's talk about your hair dryer. A 10-minute blow dry uses about 0.5 kilowatt-hours of energy, which is roughly the equivalent of powering a 50-watt light bulb for 10 hours. Why not embrace air drying for the same fresh look? Even brushing your teeth isn't exempt from environmental impact. The average toothbrush lasts 3 months, but most are made of plastic that never biodegrades. Switch to bamboo alternatives, and you're already on your way to cutting down on waste. Plus, choose toothpaste in glass jars instead of plastic tubes to minimize the landfill load. It's not just appliances either. The energy used to heat your home for that cozy morning routine matters. Investing in weatherproofing your windows can save you up to 25% on heating costs. If you really want to take it a step further, try setting your thermostat lower by just a few degrees and bundle up. Your energy bill and the planet will thank you. Chapter 2. Food for Thought. Eating the Planet and How to Stop. We've all heard that eating less meat is better for the planet. But there's more to it than just swapping burgers for salads. The environmental cost of food packaging is staggering. Did you know the global production of plastic packaging is responsible for 4% of global greenhouse gas emissions? And much of that comes from food packaging. Reducing your plastic consumption starts with the grocery store. Choose bulk bins or bring your own reusable containers to cut back on the excess plastic. You'd be surprised at how easy it is to cut out a lot of plastic just by shopping smarter. Not only will you reduce waste, but buying in bulk often costs less too. Then there's food waste. According to the United Nations, 1/3 of all food produced globally is wasted. That's 1.3 billion tons of food every year. You can easily cut this number by planning meals better, storing food properly, and composting organic waste instead of sending it to landfills. Local food can also make a huge difference. Did you know that an apple from New Zealand could take up to 25,000 miles to reach you? Meanwhile, local produce has a much lower carbon footprint. Shopping at farmers markets or joining a community-supported agriculture (CSA) program ensures you're not only eating fresh, but also supporting local farmers and reducing transportation emissions. Chapter 3. Commute Conundrum. How your daily drive impacts the Earth. Commuting might be a daily necessity, but its environmental impact is huge. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, the average driver spends 17,600 minutes on the road annually. That's a lot of fuel being burned and CO2 being released. The transportation sector is the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. One way to reduce that impact is by carpooling. Studies show that if everyone in the U.S. carpooled just once a week, we could reduce emissions by 7.5 million metric tons annually. And don't forget about public transport. In cities where mass transit is used regularly, the per capita carbon footprint is often reduced by over 30%. Electric vehicles, EVs, are another option. While manufacturing an EV can be more resource-intensive, once you're driving, it's a cleaner alternative. EVs reduce emissions by up to 60% compared to gasoline cars over their lifetime. So, switching to electric can make a huge difference if you live in a region where the grid is increasingly powered by renewable energy. If you're not in the market for an EV, consider biking or walking for short trips. A 2019 study found that replacing just 10% of short car trips with walking or biking could reduce carbon emissions by 4.5 million metric tons annually. It's healthier, cheaper, and better for the environment. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical tips on how your daily habits can have a positive impact on the planet. Chapter 4: Productivity or Pollution? How your tech routine wastes more than time. In our hyper-connected world, technology can be a double-edged sword. The average American spends over 10 hours a day on screens, whether it's phones, laptops, or tablets. But did you know that this constant use comes at a cost? The electricity needed to power our devices contributes significantly to global emissions. For example, if you leave your phone plugged in overnight, it draws electricity even though it's fully charged, a habit that wastes about 2 watts per hour. That may not seem like much, but over a year, that can add up to over 100 kilowatt hours of wasted energy. To combat this, unplug devices when they're fully charged or use smart plugs that turn off automatically. E-waste is another issue. Over 50 million metric tons of electronic waste are generated annually worldwide, and only 17% is properly recycled. Instead of tossing your old gadgets, try donating, recycling, or repurposing them. Some devices, like old smartphones, can even be used as security cameras or remotes for smart home systems. Then there's the cloud. Storing data online consumes a surprising amount of energy. A single Google search requires 0.3 WH of energy. While that seems small, multiply it by billions of searches daily, and it's clear that the cloud isn't as green as we might think. Consider backing up files on external drives to reduce your reliance on cloud storage. Chapter 5: Beauty and Personal Care. Is your self-care routine unintentionally polluting? Your beauty routine may be boosting your self-esteem, but it might also be harming the environment. The average woman uses 12 beauty products a day, many of which come in plastic packaging. In fact, the beauty industry contributes to 120 billion units of plastic waste annually. Switching to zero-waste options can help. Look for refillable or biodegradable packaging for products like shampoo, conditioner, and lotions. You'd be amazed at how much waste you can avoid by simply choosing bar soap instead of liquid soap in plastic bottles. Another factor is microbeads, tiny plastic particles found in many exfoliating products. These beads are so small that they slip through water filtration systems and end up in oceans, harming marine life. Stick to products with natural exfoliants like sugar or salt to avoid this problem. The chemicals in beauty products are also concerning. Many contain harmful substances that, when washed down the drain, end up in our waterways. Opting for organic or natural beauty products ensures fewer toxic chemicals are released into the environment, protecting both your health and the planet. Chapter 6: Nighttime Reflection. How to sleep your way to a greener world. When the day winds down, it's easy to forget about sustainability. But even your nighttime routine affects the environment. Did you know that switching from traditional incandescent bulbs to LED lights can save you up to $75 annually on your energy bill? LEDs use 75% less energy and last 25 times longer. Then there's the thermostat. Keeping your home cooler at night doesn't just help you sleep better, it saves energy. A slight decrease of 1.8 degrees can lower your heating bill by 3%. Try using thicker blankets or sleeping in lighter clothes to reduce your dependency on heating. Your laundry routine also plays a part. Washing clothes in cold water, for instance, saves up to 90% of the energy used in hot water washing. Air drying your clothes instead of using the dryer can save even more. By making these small changes, you can lower your carbon footprint without sacrificing comfort. Finally, think about your bedding. Organic cotton, linen, and bamboo are all great alternatives to conventional fabrics, which are often treated with pesticides and harmful chemicals. Plus, they're often grown with less water and chemicals, making them better for the planet. Subscribe to the channel for more eco-friendly tips to help you make your routines greener and reduce your environmental impact.